Okay. Good morning and a very warm welcome. Happy Wednesday, happy morning. Meenala Satyamurthy from Ekcel Academy with you once again to go ahead with whatever I'm doing. Well, this week has been a week of revision for you. I've been taking you through the mock papers. Plus, I've also been taking you through extra exercises from the textbook chapters of yours. So yesterday also I did something like that. Now today also I'm moving on to the certain exercises which I felt was very essential for you. So with that note in mind, hoping that you have watching the videos, crossing and hoping for the best, I'm going to start. So let's commence. Good morning. Yes, I felt that I should do some more practice questions. And if you had remembered, we were discussing the fact, rather I was telling you the fact how prepositions play an important role, and prepositions have been asked really every paper, like just like para jumbles, comprehension passage, spelling. So I took it up this one. The reward was not commensurate with the work done by us. So the answer is with the work, not for the work, with the work done by us. Supposedly, digital voice disc or DVDs as they are called are far more resistant to scratching than records. So far more resistant. So what happens here? You have far more and then you have than here. They've given you two. So if you know, they're comparing DVDs to records over here. So they're far more resistance than, so you will use the comparative degree. English is today the third most spoken native language, most widely spoken, most popular native language. Yeah. Most popular native language spoken by some 380 million speakers. And here, the biggest clue for you to use most is nothing but the word the. I tell you always, the is there in superlatives, than is there in comparatives. We must achieve our targets regardless of the expenses we occur. Whether we incur, not occur, whether we incur 10,000 rupees or $10 billion or whatever it is, we must achieve our targets. 10% reduction of the excise duty has given some relief to the electronic industry. There has been a 10% reduction, and that has been given, that is actually some sort of relief. If you're eligible for the post, you will be called for an interview. If you are eligible for the post, you will be called for an interview. She was unable to cope with the tensions of the job and resigned. Remember very clearly, when we use cope, you cannot use what is known as up. I'll just share the whiteboard. Okay. Suppose you use the word cope. You cannot use up here. This is wrong. Cope itself indicates something you are trying to manage up with. So it will be wrong. It is always cope with. You should always know this. It is always cope with. Then when you have two things to compare, you will always use than. If you have the, you know very well it is superlative degree. So this you should remember. So let it be there. We'll go back to the paper. Okay. The check you deposited for us has been realized and the amount credited to your, the check you deposited with us, sorry, the check you deposited with us, the bank people telling, has been realized and the amount credited to your saving scheme. If you had adhered to the correct procedure, you wouldn't have landed in trouble. That is the thing. Now, there are spellings over here. I purposely put up these spellings because these spellings are the certain things that you may go up into kind of commonly committed errors here. Endeavor, endeavor. Now, if you find it very difficult, please remember. So if you have endeavor, end, a, v, endeavor. So it is endeavor. Next, efficient, F, E, C, I, E, N, T. Now, the most distinct, occasionally, O, C, C, A, S, I, O, where did it go? N, A, L, L, Y, occasionally, occur, O, C, C, U, R. But when it comes to occurrence, OCCURRENCA, just like you had adherence. So remember these things that could come across for you. Then you have receive, RECEIVE. Now, in certain cases, this rule works. C is a consonant. After C, if you get an E, it will always be EIVE. After this, after a consonant is usually EI. Of course, there is an exception like ancient, ANCIENT. Let me show you that. So the rule is now RECEIVE. C is basically a consonant one. So after the consonant, you get EI. This need not be the rule. Now, BELIEVE. So there is a difference. You have ancient. You have IE. There is no hard and fast rule, but most of the times it is RECEIVE. So after C, usually it is EI. So the consonant C is always followed by EI, it says, but you know very well, English grammar is bound by exceptions. So it is bound by exceptions. This is one thing that we ought to take care. Whatever possible clue that could probably help you in your making of spellings or in your writing of spellings, definitely I will tell you. So with that intention only, I have picked up the spellings, and with that intention, I have picked up These kind of questions from your book, every day I'll be doing this. Defendant. It's very simple. DE, fend for yourself. FEND, I'll show you how to break it. It's very simple. Okay, now see, DE. Then fend, FEND, fend. Ant, ANT, ant. Defendant. So it is so simple. So it can be like that. Say, par, PAR, par. ATE, 8. If this also could work for you, breaking. SE, PAR, par. ATE, 8. Now, genuine, this case, it's a little difficult. Gen, GEN, gen. UI, NA. You can even split like this and learn. Now, guarantee, GUA, ran, RAN, TEE, guarantee, forfeit, FOR, FEIT. So that is thing. Now, fulfilled, FUL, FIL, sorry, FUL, FIL. I told you British English has single L only. Now, filled, FILLED. This conscience is very simple. Remember the spelling of con, CON, con. Science, SCIENCA, conscience. You're adding science only to con, but you're pronouncing it as conscience. Now, commission. What is the beautiful thing in it? Everything is double except for except for C and N. See the beauty. CO, MM, I, SS, I again, O again, then N. So if you have noticed, there are two O's, there are two M's, there are two S, there are two I's. Only single letter is first thing and last thing. So C, O, M, M, I, double S, I, O, N. Commission. So that is how, if you feel, I know I can understand telling you the rules and talking to you, you do like this, you do like that. It is not going to be easy. But if you can use your techniques in splitting up like this, wherever possible, see how I taught you defendant. You can never make a mistake if you learn this. Defend and defendant. So it's very simple. So now here, commission. One C, one N, rest all are double. But don't then put like this. C, O, O, M, M, I, S, S, I, O, O, N. No, don't do that. So remember, C and N are put only in what is known as in the beginning and starting, and those are single letters. That is the thing. Now, occurrence. O, CC, then U, then RR, ENCE. You can also remember this as occur. Rents, RENCE. So occurrence. Now, occasionally, this also has O, CC, A, double S, I, again one more O, then N, then A, LLY, which means to say O is repeated, C is repeated, S is repeated, L is repeated. You can, you know, what I may say, these are called certain kind of mnemonics that you can do it in it. So you know how you can adjust it to your level of thinking, because each one's level different. So you can adjust it to your level of thinking, excuse me, and you can make like that. So next one. Yes. Perishable. This is all very simple. Per. You know per. You know the spelling of is. You know the spelling of her. It is only a. Able. So perishable. Per is H. Able. Perishable pronunciation. Per chocolate, per bottle of milk, per slice. So per, P-E-R, is, I-S, H is separate. Perish, her, perish, her, able, perishable. Now, prevalent, pre is a simple word, P-R-E, V-A-L, val, E-N-T, prevalent. E-N-T, doctor, prevalent. Now, R-E-C-I-P-I-E-N-T. What was the rule I taught? After C is usually followed by E. Now look at the rule difference here. Just like in ancient, even in recipient, you have I coming after C. So that rule may not be applicable to everything. So you can apply the rule to certain words wherein you are very familiar with. Now here what happens? R-E-C, res, e, I-E-N-T, recipient, okay? So actually, if I realize I am trying to break in the form of syllabus, but I don't want to utter that word and cause extra confusion for you people. Co, qua, co. So Q-U-O. Rum spelling. Cannot forget, no? Rum, co-rum. That is the way it is. Now, repetition. R-E-P. Remember, it is E-T and not A-T. So, repetition. So, R-E-P, E-T, then I-T, I-O-N. Rep, it, I-O-N. So, repetition. Now, statute. This comes even for the statutory compliances and all that. It comes there also. It comes even there also. So, statute. Now, disciplinarian. D-I-S. C-I. Plea. P-L-I. Nay. N-A. Re. R-I. And A-N. D-I-S. Dis. C-I. Plea. P-L-I. Nay. N-A. Re. R-I-A-N. Disciplinarian. So please don't get confused even with the C-I-P-P-L-I-N-A. Don't get confused even with this spelling. D-I-S-C-I-P-L-I-N-A. Discipline. So disciplinarian. D-I-S-C-I-P-L-I-N-A-R-I-A-N. Disciplinarian. So please be very careful. So you can break it up like this. Dis, D-I-S, C, C-I, plea, P-L-I, nay, N-A, rien, R-I-A-N. Disciplinarian. You can break it up like that. This is very simple. Actually, we say, my God, such a long word. How do we learn it? It's the easiest. Super. You know. In. You know. 10. You know. Dent. Superintendent. S-U-P-E-R. Super. In. I-N-N. Ten. T-E-N. Ten. Dent. D-E-N-T. Superintendent. Lieutenant. Lieutenant, some of them, some places they do pronounce like that only, but we have learned it as lieutenant. So L-I-E-U, which you know very well, L-I-E-U-T-E-T, N-A-N-T, lieutenant. So these spellings you can break up and learn like this. Tomorrow also, I will give some more spellings which I have not given today, which could be in turn useful for you too. So I shall be doing that also. So just don't worry, practice or listen to the videos. Please listen, friends. It would be of great help only to you, not to us. We have learned, we are doing it for the sake of you. Listen, and mind you, it will be of great help. I'm sure you must be concentrating on the other subjects and say, fine, English will keep at the last. But the saddest part of the story is English will be the least compared to all the other subjects. You may have done the most difficult paper the best and scored the highest marks. It's always with English. You say it's easy, you don't practice. So we go with that certain amount of confidence into the examination hall. And we do the paper and walk out and say, English, oh no, forget it. I did everything, nothing to bother. How you have framed your sentences, how relevant you are to the question asked, how correctly you have written the answers, how correctly you have read the passage and picked up the right ones is all that matters. Chuck, 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 one by one, the mark drops down. So then when the paper comes, the mistake is not in the student. That English teacher is very strict and therefore I haven't scored my marks. Now the English teacher doesn't know you at all to be very strict with you. He or she would have corrected based on the answer that you have provided. So if it is wrong, a conscientious teacher would never give you marks for it. So with that intention, you will come down and you will lose marks. So what I would suggest every day about 10 minutes as a sort of refreshing to your mind, which have been boggled down by the other subjects, touch English. You will learn better, you will retain better, and you will perform better. The rest is in your hands. The ball lies in your court. I always believe that. We can only take the horse to the pool, but we can never make it drink water. I can't push the horse next into the pond. Yes. Idioms and phrases also I thought I should pick up and teach you regularly till this weekend. So that's the thing. To turn over a new leaf, new, the word turn and new is there. So automatically you should understand to change over one's way of life. That's one thing. To take the bull by the horns. Excuse me. You know the bull is so difficult to be held. So you catch the bull by the horns itself is so difficult. Automatically the meaning comes to you to deal decisively with a difficult situation. That's why I read somewhere, when you're reading idioms and phrases, you cannot say to turn over a new leaf, to change one's way of life, to turn over a new leaf, to change one. You cannot by heart like this. By the time you go to the last one, you would have forgotten the first two. Visualize. I'm giving you the hint. Visualize how turn over is change. New, something different. So to change one's way of life. For example, when you're eating too much and you have become obese, the doctor advises, change your life, madam. I was advised. So change your life. I have to turn over into a new leaf. Otherwise, I would become all the more fat, though I'm no longer thin yet. Now, to take the bull by the horns. Bull is not an easy animal. You know very well in Spain also you have those matador races. It's absolutely tough. Pull the bull by the horns. You can imagine the amount of strength that person must have. So it means difficult. So therefore, dealing decisively, just not dealing decisively with a difficult situation. So visualize. I'm giving you the clue how to visualize. To take one by surprise. Surprise, an element of shock, an element of something you have not seen, an element of something you have not come across, to come upon one suddenly. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings and somebody from the far off the world, some corner of the world visits me. Wow, you took me over by surprise. That's the thing. It's a surprise. Take stock of. This is every year story. Take stock of whether you're in whichever company, whatever company to. So you examine the infrastructure or the contents in your room. Simple example, library. Every academic year ends, be it a school or a college or a university, stock checking is done to take stock of. So to examine what all the books are there, whether all the books are in good condition, whether some books are missing, whether you need some more books. If so, you order. That is the thing. Now, see how when you visualize, you're getting the answer. To take to task. Come on, do, to take to task. So rebuke, scold. To strain every nerve. Strain itself means you are really working hard. So every nerve, not just one bone here or one hand I'm straining. I'm straining every nerve in this arm. I'm trying very hard. Tug of war. When about 10 on that other side, 10 on this side, pull the rope. All of them are straining the nerve of their right from the fingertips till the shoulder, the entire body. So that is why I said when you visualize, idioms and phrases meanings occur easily. Sum and substance, you know very well. Substance, sum of it, the essence of it. Take a cue to take a hint. The sword of Damocles, a danger that constantly threatens a person. Sorry, threaten, E is missing. Sorry. So the sword of Damocles is a story, but I'm not able to tell the story right now, which threatens down the person. Throw down the gauntlet. Throw down the gauntlet. You give, throw down, literally throw down. So you give a challenge, to issue a challenge. So when you learn idioms and phrases, please visualize, get the essence of the meaning and learn the meaning. Blindly don't sit with your business communication book and don't by heart. No way. It doesn't do any good, because by the time you go to the 10th, you would have forgotten the first. And spellings, I'm teaching you for by breaking. So please learn like this. Now, tomorrow also I'll pick up some spellings, some idioms and phrases. I told you as far as I can spread my tentacles, I will do, because it's for you. That's the thing. Now we move on to the next question paper that we have waiting for us to be discussed. So let's commence. Let me enlarge the size so that all of you can see it, because these are usually in tiny features. You have proverbs. I will also pick up that. The proverb, birds of a feather flock together. So I told you, visualize, flock together, come together. Birds of a flock. Flock is a collective noun for a group of birds. Look at the options. From one trouble to another big trouble. No. Said impossible. No. One never loses hope. No. People of like character come together. People of like character come together. So when you visualize, you get the answer. Okay. Following sentence is divided into 4 parts. One of the parts may contain a mistake. Identify that part and select the appropriate answer. Here, what they have done is they have given the answer itself without giving the question. So probably it could be like this: 6 prototype in hospitals in India of each device are now being tested. 6 prototypes. So that is the mistake, and that's what you got it as wrong. So here that is missing, and they've just given the answer options. The next one. Sorry, unless I close this bar, this will not scroll up. Outsourcing. So very well, you know, out, something out from the office. Sourcing, it's not from within, it's from out. So what is the meaning? The activity of providing goods and services involving financial, commercial, and industrial activity aspects. The commercial process involved in prompting and selling and distributing a product or a service. Contracting out selected functions or activities of an organization to other organizations that can do the work more efficiently. That is outsourcing. See, when you provide goods and source and service, you can say it's outsourcing. No, I can only go into that shop today, buy the good and come back. I can go to that shop and buy one ream of paper and come back. But I want my work to be done, because we are not able to complete all the components of the work involved. When you tailor takes your dress for stitching, the major tailor takes the measurement. One does the cutting, one stitches, one puts on the buttons, one irons it, and another one packs it. All the work is not done by one person alone. Then probably for him to stitch, iron, pack, and buttons, everything becomes so difficult. Literally within the shop, he outsources. He tells that fellow, you are the one who's going to put buttons. You are the one who's going to do the cutting for the blouse, because you do a beautiful job. You are the one who's going to design the blouse. You are the one who's taking measurement. So literally a very small example of outsourcing. So we outsource that so our work is done efficiently. So contracting out selected functions or activities of an organization to other organizations that can do the work more efficiently. You may do the manufacturing, packing and all, you may give it to some other company because it is done quicker and faster. They have all the necessary equipments and materials needed for packing, and you're sure that they will come on time. By the time they pack and come, you can think of the producing part of the another good. So that is outsourcing. I'm not just doing the paper, I'm explaining to you why it is so. So please be careful. A dash is used to end a declarative sentence, which is not a question or an exclamation. Here, you should know the punctuation very clearly. So when you say a declarative sentence, it's nothing but a full stop. Now, if you have space, space. Now, if you have hyphen, hyphen. If you have question mark, it's question mark. If it's exclamatory, it's this. So a declarative sentence. So it will be like this. Today is a holiday for the office. Full stop. So it's a declarative sentence. Now, where are you going? It's a question. It's an interrogative sentence. Next. Oh, please. He cried for help. This is an exclamatory sentence. Oh, he did not come. Okay. Oh. What a beautiful rose it is. Now, this is exclamatory sentence. Now, there's these things you should be aware of. So this is one thing. So a declarative, also called as assertive, ends with a full stop and not with a question mark. In dash, several people can talk to each other, see each other on the television screen simultaneously. Remember the word simultaneously. SI, mull, MUL, mull, tan, 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 yours, EOUS, lie, LY. Simultaneously, that thing should tell you immediately what it is. Voicemail, name suggests voicemail. Fax, doing the machine sounds, nothing is there. Multimedia, what multimedia? Everything is multimedia. No. Teleconferencing and video conferencing are examples where several people can talk to each other on the television screen at the same time. That is important. Simultaneously at the same time. So if a person from India talks to a person in America using Skype, he or she can see each other's face and expressions and helps the bond to grow stronger. So telecommunication is such a thing. Choose the appropriate combination of articles, a and or the, to fill the two blanks in each sentence given below. It is not at all unusual for dash editor. So sound of an a. So an editor to tamper with what? A writer's manuscript. Now remember, there are three places an is there. So you have A also correct, you think. B also correct, you will think. D also correct. C is not correct. So you have three options lying in front of your eyes, A, B, and D. But what about the second one? To tamper with a writer's manuscript, because it could be any writer. It need not necessarily be only you. It could be any XYZ on these floors, streets. So with a. Now you have an and the. It cannot be the here because it's not at all a short sentence telling you which one. It says no article. It is not at all unusual for an editor to tamper with a writer's manuscript. With writer's manuscript, no article, no. An editor can use all the writer's manuscript, so it is an and a, and first one is the option for it. A well-written dash delivers the most important information without the recipient even having to open the mail. So it's definitely subject. Message will be read only after the mail is opened. Open line, what you will say, dear Mr. So-and-so, dear Mrs. So-and-so, dear Miss So-and-so, dear so-and-so. Salutation will be that. And none of the above, it's wrong. It's the subject line. Dear madam, even before that, regarding my leave. That itself gets the head to give an answer to your question. So a well-written letter subject delivers the good, most important information without the recipient even having to open the mail. Early morning, I'm the boss. As I open the mail, application for leave, I would see the mail later. It does happen, not at all times, but it does happen because early morning you come to the office on a Monday and then you get a list of absentees. It becomes really difficult, extremely difficult. Now, if you're going to wear yourselves into the shoes of the CS, you will know what struggle it is to arrange for somebody else. Luckily, you're not in schools. That is the thing. Any asset that is pledged as security for a loan instrument is called collateral security. I was telling you like this. Liability is something that you have borrowed and it's on your head to clear. Share, you know, you buy from stocks and shares. Capital, the money that you invest. The only thing left out is collateral security. When you want to construct a house, if you want to go abroad for further studies, your parents do oblige by mortgaging the house as a collateral security to the bank. That is, in case of not being able to complete the loan, I hereby authorize the bank to put the property on auction and get the money recovered due for the bank. This is very common. Very, very, very common. And people don't want this to happen because they will lose heavily. So you have to be very, very cautious. So that is called this thing, collateral security. Even the Y property, you can keep your LIC bonds. You would have made so many kinds of policies. So you can keep even one of them, depending on, again, the amount fixed, the amount charged by the bank and how much you need. You can increase your collateral security and you can also tell the bank authorities and sign up the letters and all the formalities are done. That is the thing. Give an antonym for the word audacity. She has the audacity to speak to me like that. She has the audacity to refuse whatever I have given for her. So you have the audacity to speak to a teacher like this. See how many types you can make. You're not affectionate there. You're not lavish there. You're not bravado there. You are a coward. Audacity, opposite, could be covered. Answering the letters promptly. Apologizing for any omissions. Thanking generously for a favor are the few examples of dash principles in communication. Courtesy principle. Visualize this letter. The 7 C's. Right from the time I've been talking about the 7 C's, we had a question on communication on day 1. We have a question on communication on day 2. That is, yeah. And we have a question on communication day 3. So among the letters, promptly apologizing for omissions or thanking generously for a favor are to the new examples of courtesy in principles in communication. Noise. Yesterday also we got this question. Noise. Noise is a physical barrier to communication. Always start your email with closing remark, greeting remark, purpose, omission. You may want to do your PhD. You may want to do your master's somewhere else. Directly, you cannot simply start. Though you write the subject, everything, there should be this greeting. That is how we say the person knows how to behave formally. You may get many letters from your office. Some of you may get even after the course has been completed, to your luck. And when you get the offer letter, please remember, you start writing with a greeting. I have taught you this email writing too. It is from, to, dear, and then good morning, sir. How are you? Good morning, sir. I'm fine. How are you? I'm sorry I was not able to attend the call due to the factor that I had gone on for a meeting, something like that you can tell. And you always have to greet. So you say, good morning, sir. Salutations from this thing. You can put any other name. Give synonym for the word. Idiosyncrasy. Affectionate, tormenting, preposterous, eccentricity. Idiosyncrasies, they'll have their own mood, whatever they want to do at whichever time. You cannot say no to them. You cannot say no to them because they will not like. They will not like. And some weird eccentricity they will have. They'll say, okay, let's not do this. On Thursday, only this you cook. So eccentricity is nothing, sorry, idiosyncrasy, opposite is eccentricity. Which of these reports contain a routine report? Progress report, periodic report, laboratory report, trouble report. Routine affair, it is periodic report. The idiom crocodile tears means a narrow escape from mishap, jealousy, without emotion, pretended sorrow. So he's got crocodile tears, don't worry, come. He knows he's not at all crying for it. So that is called crocodile tears. When words are used in communication, either spoken or written, this is known as the verbal communication. The messages receive a response to a message is called channel, message, feedback, output. It's called a feedback. The communication within the organization is known as internal communication. Something happening in between, inside the four walls of the office, and that is known as internal communication. Next. In MIS, Management Information System Design, the sources of information may be categorized as internal, external. Okay, so that is the thing. It cannot be defective, but you may not have an appeal to it. So just leave it there. Oh no. The original amount that is borrowed or the outstanding balance to be paid over less interest is called principal. Simple interest you must be aware of. SI is equal to PTR over 100. Bah, every year they put it up on their heads. Before sending any written communication, one should take a moment for reviewing spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes. This practice is called proofreading. So yesterday, you remember, you should not try to please every time. When it is wrong, better to tell, yes, it is wrong. So when you say better, it is wrong, rather than to be sorry later and say, why didn't you tell me? I would have corrected myself. Instead of all those janjat, it's better to proofread and do it. Which of the following protocol is used by the web? HTTPH, HPPT, HTTP, HTTPT. So it is hypertransfer text protocol, hypertext transfer protocol. Yep. A single controlling authority is involved in a vertical type of communication, and people are communicating with a center figure or person. This central figure or person forms certain instructions, radius certain instructions and orders to several of his employees who are working under him. This type of network is called wheel and spoke network. Wheel and spoke network. Pick out the most effective word from the given words to fill in the blanks to make sure the sentence is meaningfully complete. The proud king turned a deaf ear to the advisors of the wise counselor. Here, why can't I write ADVISC? I said ADVISC is near to the verb. Why can't I write? The factor here that I can't write here it is because he turned is the major adjective. The pupils turned a major deaf ear to whom? To the dash of the counselors, advisors of the wise counselors. Communication word is derived from the Latin word communicare, communion, cosmos, communis. So communis. Which of the following is odd one out? Gorgeous, elegant, exquisite, hideous. Exquisite, elegant to a certain extent could resemble gorgeous. But gorgeous, yes, it resembles what is known as there. So hideous is wrong. The phrase vox populi means the voice of the people is voice of God. an oral examination, then word for word, conversely. The voice of the people is voice of God. Use a single word for deliberate killing of whole community or race. Genocide. This genocide is there way back in the 9th and 10th history textbooks if you're studying CBSE, because you will have Hitler, Germany, killing of only whole community. He took them all and put into a chamber and allowed them to die. So that was the extent of his being absolutely cruel. I'll do this and leave out passage. Columbus called these people Indians because he thought that he had reached America, India. And of course, most scholars agree that America was discovered many years ago by Asians who crossed the narrow Bering Strait to Alaska. Few lands have been discovered as often as America. Then they spread south and east across North America, further southward to Central America and beyond. According to various claims, voyages to the New World had been made by the Phoenicians, Irish kings, and Chinese long before Christopher Columbus reached the Caribbean in 42. The correct order in which the above sentences should occur to form a paragraph is, he says, third one, few lands have been discovered. Fifth one, according to the various claims. And then he says, first one, called these three people Indians because he thought he had reached India. Then second one, and then fourth one. 35124. So it goes on to tell you that the importance of this kind of questions because it's constantly repeated. You have the passage which I shall do tomorrow. You can now go through this. You can ask me doubts. You can clarify any doubts, and please remember to tell me your exam date. At least chat in the group and tell me your exam date and when is English, just to know. That's it. Anyway, all the very best. So to help you out, and any doubts, still better late than never. You can really clarify your doubts if you really want to, and then you can use the link in the description. You can message the office to find out about this course. Rest is not in my hands. Please work for it and message so that if you have any doubts, we can clarify. And you can even message Alok sir. So please take it seriously, do it. We have left one comprehension passage and we shall do the same comprehension tomorrow. Start for the next paper tomorrow. And also I give you extra sentences. With that note in hand, here's Meenala Satyamurthy signing off for today's class and taking leave of you as I bid you goodbye, good luck, good wishes. So thank you so much. And I hope and pray that you listen so that it would be of immense help. God bless everyone. Goodbye. Happy afternoon. Good afternoon. And thanks to Ekcel Academy.